I need your eyes, in a manner of speaking.
What do you think you are doing?
I'm making what you made me. Use the parasite. Link your mind to mine. Through your eyes, I can see the scars on my back, and copy them onto his.
You would not dare!
I would. And I will. You will be consumed, and all the power you've lusted after will be mine.
We have no love for beasts. But to slaughter so many like chickens in coops, without even a fair hunt, it does not sit well with Boo.
Help me do this. Please.
Your minds join and your two selves become one. You can feel the knife in your hand, see the scars on his back, and taste his hunger for power.
Yes. Yes. I see it.
What are you doing? Don't! Ah!
No! Oh, no! There. Perfect.
Ungrateful child! Wretched child!
Time to take your place. Dominus, has animas, offero in sacrificio.
Enough! We can still stop the nonsense words in his mouth.
Don't you dare! I can feel their power flowing into me! What are you doing? No! Stop! Ah! It's gone. All that power. You couldn't let me. You couldn't let me. I was so close. I could have had it all. But you took everything from me. Cazador won after all. I'll never escape the hell he built. And if I can't escape, then no one can. Not them. And certainly not you! Don't you tell me what I needed. I was so... All you had to do was stand there! But no! Even that was too much to ask! Nunc volo potestantem quam policitus es mihi. That ache in my stomach, that hunger, it's gone. I'm free. I'm finally free! Oh! Oh, it feels delicious. I did. We did. Come on, let's get out of here. I have a brand new world to explore. Now, we deal with the Elder Brain. I no longer require its parasite, so we can end this once and for all. I think the answer to that is whatever they damn well please. Come on, let's get out of here. Oh, don't worry, darling. I won't bite unless you ask very nicely. Come on, let's get out of here. This is it. The hopeless dream dreamt by all of my kind. I am the greatest vampire to ever walk this land. Even the pale knight would have knelt before me. I felt so very little. For so long. My edges dulled over the numb years rotting in the boudoir and kennels. Now, I can hear it at last. See it at last. How all the lowly creatures of this plane are begging to serve. How to call upon them. Scurrying footpads in their safe houses. Rats below our feet in their filthy holes. The crows in the night above. They will obey. And you too. I can tell. Your heartbeat races. You hold your breath while I speak. You await my command. The world will stir in fear. Everything will be ours. Everything. I already hear the world whispering in sweet surrender. And I feel alive. You've been very brave, haven't you? You've done so much for me. Everything will be ours. Everything. I already hear the... Our lives will never be the same again. Everything will... Oh, I wouldn't be so sure. The very composition of my blood has been altered. Our lives will never be the same. I can face anything now. Let's get back to the hunt.
A few nonsense words, some slain beasts, and one becomes some all-powerful being. No, I do not believe it. Astarion still has the look of a pale and puny child to me. And he had best mind his appetite, lest Boo take to some nighttime nibbling of his own.
It is said vampires only make a show of feeling, that their only true emotion is hunger. But those screams sounded real enough. 7,000 souls. Astarion inherits his master's debts, as well as his very fine palace. And when all of this is done, I plan on being a very nosy neighbor.
Please do. I would love to have you for supper.
It is ill-mannered to bite off more than you can chew, my lord.
I had hoped to avoid this path. I had hoped you would choose the better road. A fool I was to ever hope a beast like you could be saved.
Oh, please. There's no need for such language. I promised you Cazador's death, and I more than delivered. I even killed a few thousand spawn whilst I was at it. You should be thanking me for saving you the trouble. No, there's no working with the likes of them. Look at the hate in their eyes.
We gave you a choice, and you chose power, as your kind always does. But I still have hope for you, that you will make a better choice. Will you stand against evil? Will you help us destroy this monster?
What? You treacherous little shit! I'll kill you all!
There is no greater or lesser. There is only evil. And it stands before me.
Look at the hate in their eyes. They won't ever stop hunting me.
Will you stand against evil? There is not.
My dear, I wouldn't want it any other way.
Kill them.
I was at it. Oh, I don't know. This might be the perfect place for them to die. Look at the hate in their eyes.
But will you stand against evil? Then you are as much a monster as he.
I suppose Astarion is part of the vampire aristocracy now. I hope he doesn't expect us to bow to him.
Astarion. He has ascended amongst the ranks of the undead. I can only hope that he does not come to regret the price that he paid.
Thousands were sacrificed and the servant become lord. I am sure Astarion's quite pleased with himself.
Wish I could say the same.
We're knocking around with the vampire lord now. We sure this is a good idea? No. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure what he's capable of now that he's so changed. Time will tell. But I'm keeping an eye out. The vampire lord now. Me either. Luckily, vampires, even vampire lords, aren't as hard to kill as they may seem. I hope it won't come to that. But if it does, I'm ready. I hope he still sees it that way. Something tells me he's not the same person we knew. Not anymore.
So, a vampire lord walks among us. A powerful ally to have at our side, and a powerful enemy should our intentions diverge. Things are getting more interesting by the moment.
I can't believe you let me do that. Killing all those people. A pleasant surprise. You sweet, sweet thing. I want what's best for you too, of course. And one wicked turn deserves another. So tell me what you desire. What can I do for my dearest pet? Oh, my sweet. There are no vampires like me. And there never will be again. But if you want the gift of eternity, I can give you that. One more bite is all it would take. That's what you want, isn't it? To be mine. Forever. it's everything you shall receive. I will miss the heat from those scales, though. Shall we have one last night together before you join me in immortality? One for the road, so to speak. Then come with me, my love, and live your final night. I believe you let me do a pleasant surprise. So tell me what you desire. What can I... But... That's what you want. My dark consort. My right hand. Then it's... Shall we have one last... Then come with me. On your knees, darling.
He will always see you as degrading yourself if you continue to be with him. But perhaps you wish to degrade yourself, and he knows it.
Tonight, I shall drink every drop of your blood, own your body, kill your mind. It will only hurt a bit. The pleasure will be far greater than the pain. You have given me everything. Thank you.
As he drinks more and more, you feel yourself fading from consciousness. When you wake again, you will be his forevermore.
You are so beautiful. And you will be beautiful forever. Thank you for trusting me. You were drained dry, and at the height of your delirium, I granted you one drop of my own blood. Things will be a touch different for you than they were for me when I was a spawn. I'm imbued with unfathomable new talents. I'm fairly certain I can extend Mephistopheles' blessings unto you. You need not fear anything. You will be stronger, swifter, sharper, but you won't be different. You're already perfect before. It's hard to improve. As for me, well, you probably expect me to turn into a sea of mist, run wrong side up on roofs, and to call on legions of wolves in battle. This will all happen in due time. But for now, patience is required. I hear the whispers of the night, but I can't yet speak its language. It's going to take a while to become acquainted with my new self. Everything lies ahead. I can see my path to a waking dream. From the Crimson Palace, I will govern day and night. Create a city of spawn who bow before me, cast a fog over the world for my children. I wish we could retreat into our palace already and spend a decade in each other's arms. But first, we must manage the trifling matter of the brain. Perhaps it will listen to us. Perhaps it too will serve. We shall see. Baldur's Gate is a city of opportunity like no other. And I don't intend to let one like this pass us by. My consort. We are so close to our triumph, I can almost taste it. You want to talk? That's very cute. "7,000 souls have given me the power to carve out my own future. And I want you. Look at you, precious thing. You always stare so eagerly. Yes, my treasure. We are sovereigns. My sole endeavor now is to make this world yours and mine. My consort. Go on then. I'll allow it. Spawn is an ugly word. I really do prefer consort. As much as I wish to sequester you in a deep chamber of my palace and keep you all to myself, there's much to be done. First, we'll take Baldur's Gate. Then, we'll take the world. We'll dominate it until the sun itself melts. And then, we'll give ourselves to the night. Of course I will. And you'll drink mine. I can't wait to taste your lips after you've tasted me. Why would I need to? You're going to be wonderfully obedient. Don't you worry. You have supped of my blood. It will be no trouble to extend a fragment of my protection to you. Just don't stray too far. But you'd never dream of doing that, would you? No? Ask me anything. Go on then. I'll allow it. What? No. I thought not. Let's keep it that way. I don't want to hear anything like that from you again, my pet. You know I adore you terribly. Ah, so beautiful. And you will be beautiful forever. Things will be a touch. I'm imbued with unfathomable new talents. I don't intend to die, if you don't. I truly believe we can best the brain united like this. You will be stronger, swift. As for me, this will... It's going to take a while to become acquainted with my new self. Have I? It's possible. I think my instincts have become so quick that the world around me can't catch up. Everything is moving. Everything from the But first, we must manage the trifling matter of the brain. That love. Look what's in front of your very eyes. We could have everything. Baldur's Gate is a city of opportunity like no other. And I don't intend to let one like this pass us by. It's going to take a while to be... Death was better for them. Death is better for many. I will stand by it. Everything lies ahead from the But first, we must manage the trifling matter of the brain. I'm so lucky I crash-landed next to such an intelligent creature as you. We make a fine team, don't we? It's going to take a while. Mephistopheles has made a new monster, not bound a creature to his will. The rite was honored. The sacrifice is over. Everything lies. But first, we must manage the... Precisely. I'm not ashamed, dear. I won. We won. Will happen in due time. It's going to take a while to become everything like. But first, of course, so do I. Luxury, sin, all the Baldurian comforts I'm finally free to enjoy. My consort. We are so... Go on then. I'll allow it. What? No. Ask me anything. And yes, my treasure. Spawn is an ugly word. I really do prefer consort. As much as we'll dominate it until... Just don't... Why would I... Of course. My pretty consort. I don't like to see doubt cast upon your face. You want to talk? Eterna amantes. Lovers forever. Until the world falls down. You are stronger now. Better. You will thank me one day. Things will be a time. I'm imbued with unfathomable new talents. I don't intend to die, if you don't. I truly believe we can best the brain united like this. You will be strong. As for me, this will send Mephistopheles' blessings unto you. Exactly what symptoms of vampirism are going to manifest in you, well, we'll have to see what hand the tadpole has in suppressing them when we wrangle it under our command. You need not fear anything. What? Why? Silence! I don't have to... If you're too stupid to see what you're losing, I don't have to take this from... Ah, my favorite traveling... I know. I'm... If you're too stupid, I don't have... If you let me do that, a pleasant surprise. Well, what's done is done. And there's simply no point in dwelling on the past, is there? No. You have given me a glorious new future. And one wicked turn deserves another. So tell me what you desire. What can I do for my dearest pet? Truly? And what was I supposed to learn from this? Who's to say I do? Of course, if it's not... So, what's it to be, darling? Is this it? Of course we can. And you, my dark consort. My right hand. My most... Oh, don't be like... That's... We could be together for eternity. Ruling this... It seems I miss... So, what's it to be, darling? A pity, then. I won't forget what you've done for me. I can't believe you let me do that. A pleasant surprise. You sweet and want. So tell me what you desire. Truly. And what was I supposed to learn from this? So, what's it? A pity, then. So you know, everything lies. From the Crimson Palace I will govern day and night. Create a city of spawn who bow before me. Cast a fog over the world. For my children. You'll be alone. You could have two. What a waste. What can I do for you, my friend? You let me do that. A pleasant surprise. Of course. Whatever you need to tell yourself, darling. But make no mistake. I will forever remember what you did for me today. And one wicked turn deserves another. So tell me what you desire. What can I do for my dearest pet? You've earned it. But don't you want more? Don't you want eternity? One more bite is all it would take. That's what you want, isn't it? To be mine. Forever. What's not to want? We could be together. For all time. My dark consort. My right hand. My most beloved spawn. Oh, don't be like that. I'd never want to control you. I love you. That's what you've been waiting to hear, isn't it? That's what you want. We could be together for eternity, ruling this world side by side. We could have it all. I already have everything, except you, by my side. Are you ready to join me? To accept this immortal I knew? Shall we have one last night together, before you join me in immortality? One for the road, so to speak. Impatient, are we? Well, who am I to deny you? On your knees. Yes. You're missing the chance of a lifetime. You will never have another like me. It won't take me until the end of time to find another like you. Don't. What do you mean? Well, think of the things I can offer you. You're not going to say no to that, surely. You wouldn't just be some spawn. You're far more than that to me. My dark consort. My right hand. And you will. All in good time. But shall we have one last night together? Not having second thoughts, are we? It seems I misjudged you. I thought we might have a future together, even an eternity. But perhaps you're not worthy. So, what's it to be, darling? Is this it? There you are. The real you shows himself at last. Good luck with the brain, darling. Without me, you'll need it. There you... We are bound until the end, you and I. A pity, then. We could have had something truly special. I won't forget what you've done for me. I won't leave you to fight this alone. You came so far, only to slip now. Such a pity. Just so you know, I have everything I ever wanted. Everything lies ahead. I can see my path to a waking dream. From the Crimson Palace, I will govern day and night. Create a city of spawn who bow before me, cast a fog over the world for my children. You'll be lonelier than I. Very soon, I will discover how to call my legions of wolves, become a sea of mist, run wrong side up on roofs. Everything vampires do best. You could have two. What a waste. can take anything I want. I should have made you a spawn, just to teach you that. You will regret leaving me. More than anything you live to regret. Governed day and night, you refused riches beyond belief. The world would have knelt before us united. Very soon, I will discover how to cool my legions of wolves. You could have too. I was pathetic then. What do you mean? Why would you say that? In palace, I will govern day and night. So much for the better. My instincts are already so quick. The world seems slow around me. Everything is moving at a grinding pace. I feel like I will live thousands of hours every day. Very soon, you could have too. What a waste. The language of the night needs learning. All in due time. It won't be long. Hear me? It won't be long. I have turned away my former self. And all my former attachments now, too. Very soon, I will You could have too. Who? What? I know. I'm better than he was. Stronger. Finally free of my past. I'm who I always wanted to be. I have everything I ever wanted. I'm who I always wanted to be. Silence! How dare you speak his name? I don't have to take this from you. I'm who I always... If you're too stupid to see... I don't have to take this from you. If you're too stupid to see what you're losing, then you never deserved to have it in the first place. I don't have to take this from you. You ingrate. And what was I supposed to learn from this? Don't you ever compare me to him! Never! How dare you stand there and judge me! As if you know the first thing. Your hands are as bloody as mine, darling. Why would you go along with any of this just to pretend you're innocent now? It seems I misjudged you. Truly? And what was I supposed to learn from this? Please. Everything is about power. Sex, relationships, violence. They're all just different forms of control. And now you think you can stand there and tell me how to feel because what? Because you care? Your hands are as bloody as mine, darling. Don't be such a humorless little wretch. It's nothing but a joke. You've earned it. But don't you want... That's what you want, isn't it? To be mine. Forever. What do you mean? Well, think of the things I can offer you. You're not going to say no to that. What's not my dark consort? My right hand. My most beloved spawn. Oh, don't be like... We could be together for eternity. Ruling this world side by side. We could Are you ready to join me? To accept this? It seems I misjudged you. Indeed you do. I am so very, very powerful. All thanks to you. And one wicked turn deserves another. So tell me what you desire. What can I do for my dear... Don't be such a humorless little wretch. It's nothing but a joke. Life's a joke, dear. But now we're the ones laughing. But if you want the gift of it, that's what you want. You're such a humorless little wretch. It's nothing but a truly. And what was I supposed to learn from this? Who's to say I don't? I'm willing to share all of this with you. What's that? If not love. Of course, if it's not enough, if you need something more, perhaps this isn't for you. So, what's it to be, darling? Is this it? Of course we can. You're the one that I want. The one that I love. And you could be so much more. My dark consort. My right hand. Oh, that was completely different. I'd never hurt you. I love you. That's what you've been waiting to. We could be together for eternity. Ruling this world side. I knew. Shall we have one last night together? Before you join. Impatient, how? On your knees. How dare you! To hell's with you! I'm done! I hope you rot!
Oh, master, master, master! You have come home to your royal dwelling. Don't lift a pinky. I have been waiting to open the door for you. Lady Orin told me to allow your passage, but if she hadn't, I would have been naughty and slipped you inside anyway. The temple is all tidied and ready for your worshipful act of mortal combat. The eye sockets of our graven god's icon are all polished up, ready to glow menacingly as you bludgeon your sister to death. I've restacked every pile of skulls and mounted more skeletons on the walls for a cozy touch. We are unfortunate bunkmates, as she refuses to leave your estate. Every day she kills me as I'm trying to beautify the temple for your return. Up to thrice some days. Being killed by you is so much more pleasurable, master. Let's face facts, master. You might never be. But I believe in you, now and ever after. Oh, you simply must go into the temple. You must. My pattering heart cannot take it any longer. 1,000 succubi could give me no greater delight. There's a puddle of blood on the floor as you walk in. Careful, don't slip.
This is a foul place. Better bury it. Already Boo is bristling, and not from the cold.
I confess that the last time I came here, I thought it would be my tomb. You can see why.
They say you will fight her, Lady Orin. Will you shatter her skull? Break her bone? Break...
I hear you are to duel Lady Orin. If it pleases you, child of murder, I would have her carcass once you're finished. Oh, I don't. I ask the same favor of Lady Orin. Either of your pelts would make a most if it... Oh, nothing untoward. Oh, such skin she has. Shh! Speak not.
Always talking. Look, your savior approaches. See how it crawls towards us? Not a dream now. No, it is blood and bone. Carrying the tyrant's rock. But you did not listen. Thought my instructions could be ignored, hmm? I told you what to do, whelpworm, and you disobeyed. Disobedience must be punished. Disobedience. You do not lie, underling. It is your blood I am destined to spill. Your death spit will stain these walls, little lamb. Yes, yes. Give me agony. Pluck me bone from socket. Stroke me with a jagged edge until my skin shreds wet and red. You still don't remember, do you, bloodkin?
How you screamed as my knife slit your skull. Your brain juices, sticky and sweet. A little hole, big enough for the worm. Your body, a blood sack to feed it. The favorite of Baal turned meat puppet, strung up by the sinews and plucked by my hands.
Straggling memory rises. Day your tyranny should have engulfed this world. It was you who were the first to be enslaved. Orin's smile was the last thing you saw. Her bright blade glinting as she chiseled into your skull. Her reckless digging left your mind shattered. She robbed you of your bloody birthright, reduced you to nothing. Nothing but pure hate. And now it burns, yearning for vengeance.
Husk, maggot, a ball spawn, slip sliding in filth with these pigs. You don't deserve the Murder Lord's blessing. Pigs. My grandfather ruled this city. A slaughterhouse ripened for my blades. And you stole it! Enough! 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 The runt must be called. Come close, my death spawn. Opens its lips and spews filthy lies. No! None can resist Father's blessing. He tells me, whisper quiet, the lies must be cut from your throat. Come close, my... No! The Murder Lord demands one. Only one. It is me. It must be me. Your rightful place is strung above my altar. Carcass fluids flooding into the gutter. Come close, my death's heads, but keep your blades unblooded. Baal demands a jewel. He wants to taste my domination. An altar flowing with his own unwilling flesh. Draining, dying, drip, drip, drip.
You should have trained harder, Master. Master, you are the chosen one. He is near. He comes for you.
An offering of his affection for you, or confirmation that he owns you. Owns you.
Domination, you.
For a moment, the brine pool of your brain clears. To die, to rest, to save the world from yourself.
You refuse me. You are my spawn. Your veins course with my unholy blood. Your life is mine. Accept your inheritance, or I will reclaim it. Devour. You reject my blood, and so I will reclaim it. I will make another who is worthy.
For the first time in over a century, silence falls over the Baal temple. No chants, no screams, no prayers. In the end, your own death brought you more joy than any you wrought on this land. You are slipping into peaceful oblivion. But your journey is not over.
Thou hast defied Baal, thy liege and father, and in doing so hast earned a place among champions and heroes. But alas, thy courage was in opposition to the divine cosmology that bound thee to the Lord of Murder. Thou art now faithless, godless, and doomed to wander the fugue plane for eternity. I will not permit that, though all the powers of life and death dictate that it should be so. I, too, still hold some power, and I invest a portion of it in thee, who hath challenged the gods and now liveth to tell of it. Thy fight is not over, and it is thy fight. For one who can look upon Baal and oppose him can survive any crisis. So rise, challenger of gods,
and prepare for battle once more. Death will not claim thee whilst I endure. A scribe, a seneschal, a keeper of records, and now thine advocate, both here and in the city of the dead. The sole way to atone for thine actions is to do better in a new dawn. That dawn has come. Baal tried to extinguish thee, but his wrath is imprecise. He only succeeded in killing the part of thee he knew. The urge that drove thee to terrible acts, the spark of brutality that made thee his. But there is a new part of you that hath grown during thy travels. That part Baal could not extinguish, and so, instead of destroying thee, he hath made thee anew.
He's right. You're no monster. You've saved me more times than I can count.
The heart of a savior hath overshadowed the mind of a murderer. Thou hast vanquished thine urge. If thou couldst recall in full every barbarity thou hast committed, every tragedy thou hast authored, wouldst thou truly want to? Nothing is ever truly forgotten. I will remember them always. But thou mayst turn thy mind to the future. Today thou art born anew.
A genuine pleasure to meet you again, my friend.
Minsk had his doubts about you, little slayer, but Boo had none.
Greet the bloodless dawn, child of none. Thy path is clear. You must save Baldur's Gate. As it was, so it is again. A hero has risen from a legacy of death. Battle once. There is no true rest for those like thee, faithless. But when victory is won, I swear I shall find thee a home. I can only give what thou hast earned. Baal tried to extinguish thee, but he's right. The heart of thou hast vanquished thine urge. I share thine enthusiasm in mine own manner. Today thou art Greet the bloodless dawn. As it was, so it is again. A hero. I know all. But to state truths is to interfere. This intervention, the reclamation of thy soul, is beyond mine ordinary remit. Today thou art Greet the bloodless child of. Do not thank me. Trust in thy courage and the conviction of thy companions. As it was, so. Greet the bloodless dawn.
There is so little of you left. There is nothing left to do but write yourself anew.
Greet the bloodless dawn. Thy path as it.
Congratulations are in order. I fancied myself the sage advisor, sworn to guide you through what it means to be a child of Baal. And while I mulled on that solemn responsibility, you went and took care of it on your own. Well done. Truly.
Well done indeed. Though now you will never see a god of death cower before a miniature giant space hamster. Every choice has a cost, I suppose.
The path of a Baalspawn is not an easy one. Nor does it ever truly end. But you found your footing where so many before you have fallen. Wherever you lead from now, we will follow. I believe you have an appointment with a Netherbrain. Lead then. Nature's servant awaits.
I live once more. The Dreadlord's plaything no longer. To camp. I will not let my guards...
Well done again on besting Baal and all that. It was... very twee. Especially the part where that poor excuse for a skeleton waved his magic wand and made it all better. Dying and being reborn is never pleasant. Yes, you were so very scary. I knew you had that sweet heart all along. I was alarmed by you sometimes, scandalized even. But somehow, by your side, I still only ever saw you. I have the utmost confidence you would do the same for me. Now, excuse me while I go and regurgitate the sap rankling in my throat.
It was no easy thing, overcoming those urges that gripped you. I'm not sure I would have managed in your shoes. Well done. Good. I knew you had what it took to quieten your demons. I'd hate to have lost the real you.
You fought hard to win back control over yourself. I can only imagine how you feel. Congratulations. And a hard-won freedom at that. Well done.
You have conquered your urge. You have taken back your own soul. I'm so proud of you. If I had a bottle of dragon dew, I'd open it in your honor.
You have vanquished the Slayer, as I knew you would. You are strong. You are mighty. You are you.
You're cured. You're free. This merits a celebration. You did what you had to do to get yourself right. To choose the life you wanted to live. Very fucking proud of you, mate. Seriously.
Your new lease of life suits you rather well. What do you and your newborn vitality require of me? Nothing like ridding oneself of a god's unwanted influence to lighten the load on your shoulders. I wasn't sure if we'd lose you to that darkness entirely. I'm glad to know you found your way back to us.
Now's as good a time as any. I want you by my side as well. Now that you're free, we can craft a new future together.
When the parasite entered your... Who do you think told the Chosen about... Who do you think planted the knowledge when the Chosen sent my...
We were part of its plan.
I only needed one. You brought... This was your role. Now you will.
No! Minsk of Rashiman has...
Just in time. This is an elder brain. It has become something more. A nether brain. I thought so. It has been we were
all of that, and the stones didn't even work. I swear, this is never ending. Please, darling, you have the vampire ascendant on your side. How could we lose? Oh, as well as can be expected when facing down the end of the world. Then we'd better make it count. You've never tasted so sweet, darling.
I have assessed the problem. You can make only it knows what to defeat it. You will give the stones to me. I will assimilate Orpheus, and then I will be able to leave this prison to face the brain. I will consume his thought. In theory, you have resist, and you is this
we can't wield the stones unless one of us becomes an illithid. I hope you're not actually considering this. Oh, we still have other options. We could free the Gift Prince with the Orphic Hammer. Perhaps he'll have a bright idea. Just consider the alternatives before throwing away that beautiful face of yours. You're asking me? Oh, darling, I don't know. Flip a coin if you need to. Just don't you consider transforming. The tentacles won't suit you at all, darling. I'm going to assume you meant that as a joke. I do not want you to transform into some slimy beast. We'll figure something else out. I'm sure of it.
Opinions and grievances and made your decision very well. All you have to do.
The boundary between thought and feeling. Exactly. But there is something else. An emptiness to be filled.
You feel it. I'm sure you will, but you have done the greater challenge. Come.
I can't talk when we have a city to save, darling. At least the bits of it that are worth saving.
Oh, this might be the easy part. No planning, no doubt. Just the same person who walked into the Last Light Inn. Though, I might... Now come. You can gaze into a...
Back to the city.
Look at this place. From a symbol of the city's power and grandeur to a brain-infested husk. Maybe I should help fund the repairs when this is all over. It would be the civic-minded thing to do. And it means we could install secret tunnels, spy holes, maybe even a murder pit. Everything we'd need to rule from the shadows. I admit, I'm a little torn. You are repulsive, but just think of all the power you can access. It's a compelling mixture in an ally. I do miss your pretty face, though. But of course, with my power and your tentacles, how could we lose? Aside from my once beautiful lover turning into a monster. Oh, wonderful.
Mother. Time slows in his eyes.
The enemy, I will, but when the
Not much already, but even when the Baldur's Gate today? You're late, friend. This is the one you spoke of.
The very same. They will...
There it is. The very thing that has been... That...
the hamster make murder. You are...
Even bound.
Do not listen!
Now.
It can be ours, my love. The whole world.
My master.
Hopes, nightmares, and the screams of legions upon legions of unborn lipids. The pain rips through you, obliterating all thought, all feeling. Yours. Yours at last. Everything you did, everything you sacrificed, it was worth it. For this.
Victory. Our enemies are dust at our feet.
My powers, they're draining. Just like Mazora said they would. A small price to pay in the grand scheme of things.
We're free of that stupid parasite! And I'm free to enjoy all the power Cazador left me.
And the worm squirms no more. Bull need not worry that his seat on my skull will grow suddenly stickier with Mind Flayer juice. Forgive Minsk. It has been said that his mouth sometimes frolics in fields far ahead of his mind.
And rightly so. You are better now than you have ever been.
This victory would not have been possible without you. I will never forget that.
Skvar. You may have succeeded, but I have failed. I will be hunted by... I must leave. I have nothing more to gain by being here. The world looms before me. Never.
Well, that's a pleasant sight. Here's hoping they stay in their own plane.
With the Githyanki gone, there's nothing left but the silence of the city, smoldering, waiting to be rebuilt. You are a mind flayer, the very thing you sought to eradicate. Whatever self you possess is quickly ebbing away. Your friends and enemies alike are ripe for manipulation. And if not manipulation, then consumption. Soon you will not be able to trust yourself at all. You will be a monstrosity beyond redemption. Or not. Perhaps you are unique among illithid kind. Perhaps you will retain enough of who you are to resist your nature. A rogue mind flayer. Like the Emperor. The risk is certainly yours to take. You have thwarted the illithid grand design. You have defeated 3 chosen and a nether brain. You are miraculous. And you have earned the right to live. Your fate will be what you make of it. Now you are your own master. But it seems that Gale's mind is elsewhere.
The crown. Perhaps that's the best place for it. It's not exactly the outcome Elminster hoped I would achieve. I feel the faintest pricklings of hunger from the orb already. It will not remain under the sway of his spell forever. If there's one thing I've taken from this adventure of ours, such a force of destruction deserves to rust in a war. No. All I want now is a meal.
Now you're talking. After all that, But I think right of...
Answer it then, but you'll be going without me. I'm sorry.
You have much to learn about yourself.
A lot of people died, so we could get to this moment. Let's go find somewhere to offer them a toast.
You slept like a babe straight through the night. Dreamless, thoughtless, and almost entirely free. For the first time, you feel alone, calm. You breathe. Baal may have been your beginning, but he will not be your end. Of all those you killed in your father's name, one lingers in your mind even now. Alfira, the bard of the Emerald Grove. Her death weighs upon you still. A burden you will carry for the rest of your days. But fortunately, you will not have to carry it alone.
It feels so good. Freedom. True freedom. Finally, I can feel my strength growing. Every day that passes, I gain new abilities. And you've changed too, of course. A different aesthetic, but with such power. A shame. I was looking forward to having you as my consort. But we can still be powerful allies. Oh, darling, please. I can't have something like this as my lover. The mechanics alone. No. A simple alliance is far more useful to us both. I can build up my power here in the light, while you lurk below in the shadows. I'm offering you a chance to be useful. To be more than the monster you've become. I thought you'd be grateful. But if you won't accept my kindness, that's on your slimy head. It is a shame, though. You were something special. I'll never forget the person you used to be. The beauty I bedded. The warrior I fought beside. The hero that saved this city. The people may not appreciate you now that you're a grotesque freak, but I do. After all, you helped me attain perfection. I owe all of this to you. So, thank you. Now get the hells out of my city. I was looking forward to... excuse me. These are the only games worth playing. But fine. You don't need my friendship. And I don't need you sliming around my palace. It is a shame that... Really? And what does your path include? Lurking in the sewers? Feasting on rat brains? But fine. If you want to make your own future, have at it. And if you crash and burn, that's on your slimy head. It is a shame that... I'll never... The people may not appreciate... After all... Now get the hells out of my...
6 months since you faced your father and refused your birthright. 6 months since you cured yourself of the urge. Your life is your own now, and you are already becoming someone new. But the memories of the past will not leave you alone. You receive an invitation one day, in a hand you recognize immediately. Challenger of gods, it reads. Surely thou wishest to see thine true family once more. Withers, who raised you when your father struck you down. He bids you join him as a gathering of your allies and friends. So, once again, you return to the place where you formed your first memories. You are calm. You are you. You can do this.
Thou wert called here, some from above, some below. For with thine bond, together thou hast kept the wheel of fate spinning when it threatened to halt. Though thou wert drawn far apart in the months after the collapse of the Absolute, tonight, fate renews thy bond once more. Thou shouldst take care to preserve it. It is a great weapon, wielded in the hand of good. Go. Know one another once more.
Well, well. Look what the Tressim dragged in. Professor Gale Decarius of Blackstaff Academy. Educator of the esteemed School of Illusion. A pleasure to remake your acquaintance. Fear not. My heart has survived far crueler partings and lived to tell the tale. I assure you, I meant exactly what I said to you at the time. I feel quite certain that the bond of friendship between us will have...
This is why Mrs. Decarius and I will be waiting an eternity more for grandchildren.
Psst! Shoo, Tara! I have to say, I'm quite grateful to just be Gale for the evening. I fear my students find me somewhat intimidating due to my, or the fear of Mystra. I surrendered the crown of Carsus to her, as I told you I would. Even now, I struggle to put the feelings into words. Of course, I haven't clarified with my students that the orb is no longer a threat. I spend most of my time trying to convince them how much fun the study of magic can be. But it'd be easier to crack a smile on an intellect devourer than some of my pupils. Smiling may no longer come easy to you, but I've seen how your tentacles twitch at my jokes. Even the ones I'm not entirely certain I was trying to make. Still. Oh, they try their best, of course.
The cheek of them!
And what of you? What are you making of this newfound lease of life we earned? Living life to the full, even as an illithid. I've told my students plenty of tales about our escapades. I'd be delighted to introduce you to my current cohort as a guest lecturer, perhaps. I'm sure that never fear. My students are as open-minded. Of course, you'll be most welcome to stay with me in my... My apologies, Tara. It will give us plenty of time to catch up on your adventure. I'm very curious to know what you've been up to these past months. So, in the spirit of selflessness...
Well now, your higher form has brought with it some higher manners then. Same twisting alleys for purse pickers. Same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon. Same cisterns overflowing. An empty throne. Baldurians simply... Harpers have come from... My own son, Jord, has been... Not so for my daughter. Ryan's though she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing 8 ones. They might learn a thing or two, if they don't expel her. The beloved ranger? Oh, Minsk has the guilt. Of course, many of the wealthy fled this... While I... Mistake me not, but my children are more than capable of... This night offers them a brief respite. A fine spot for an adventure to begin. A fine spot indeed. Just a little... I'll find my way back. But that is the thing about home. But, should... Perhaps you might write and tell me of them. And of you, too. And I vow to send them. If you really want to help, still, be well. I must inspect the refreshment.
How? You look positively perfect. But damn it all, you were too bold a soul to be slinking in shadows, tentacles or not. Your sacrifice hasn't... The hunt is both duty and...
All this stimulate to speak is not enough. You wish to explore the brain of your friend with your beak, Will's frontal lobe, which processes his judgment and measured words, would be a delicacy befitting his nobility. The buffet table at this party bears pie, punch, and cocktail sausages. No respite shall be had at this pitiful smorgasbord. You shall dine well tonight.
Fascinating. Thou hast ventured long with thy comrades, shared food, fire, and friendship, but even such adamantine bonds could not prevent thee from ruining my party. Suddenly, I am most tired. Good day.
This is highly illogical. There are plenty of other craniums awaiting your suction. And this is a prize ally. And besides, this brain before you, its endorphins are in a joyous flow. It is a wonderful scent. The odor of friendship.
We are not dreaming. It is our old friend. Oh, and it is good to be seen. Oh, after so many days, you will forgive the Euro. Boo had a moment to lick himself clean, but there is a little too. Minsk and Boo have been helping, of course. We, Zentarum, rule the city's underbelly. So we awoke in a Zentish cell, awaiting. It is a long walk to the gallows, and Minsk still has his fists, no? In ample time indeed. But leave such matters for them. How have you filled your days since we tore this sticky tyrant from the sky? No, my friend. There is much merriment. Ah, this pond shall do nicely.
Honestly? You feel a little more substantial than before. Less camp. Same. I'm glad you seem well. Trudy. I'm joking. Of course I want to know. Tell me all. Well, you needn't coming from me. Hopefully these meetups will become a regular occurrence. It's not. I'm sure we will. After all, we've faced down bigger threats than Don't be a...
Well, look who it is. At least I assume it's you in there. You squids all basically look the same. So, tell me, what have you been doing since this, travesty? Really? Really? Gods, people will accept anything. Cazador's mansion has become my palace, and played host to every kind of banquet and soiree and masquerade imaginable. And of course, has seen its fair share of hedonism, clandestine deals, and the occasional disappearance. Whatever it takes to build up my influence over those who matter. I'm spinning my web. Power grows slowly, but I have nothing but time now. Rather wonderfully, actually. I've been making all sorts of new friends. They're the kind of friends that would see me burn the first chance they get. But that's all in the nature of the game, isn't it? But the important thing is I am doing wonderfully. Finally having a life that's worth living. And who knows what's next? There's an entire world out there, ready for the taking. You know, I did miss you. You were never afraid to stand up to me. Now, almost everyone is. We did share a wonderful adventure, you and I. And pity to see it end in some ways. But we have great new lives stretching out before us. And great new adventures to go on. I will never forget the time we spent together, though. And I know you'll never forget me. Until next time, darling. We've already had one heart-to-heart. Best to leave it at that, don't you think? I'm not sure I can manage another bout of sentimentality. Oh, tell me. Oh, that is so sweet. I hope you're not expecting me to say it back, because, well... Of course. I've tried to taste everything this world has to offer. It has been a joy. I've been rediscovering what it means to be alive. More or less. Cazador's mansion has become my palace, and played host to every kind... And of course, I'm spinning my web. Power grows slow. Try to wound me all you like. But I'm so much better than he ever was. I achieved what he only dreamed about. And now my ambitions can take me anywhere I want. But the important thing is And who knows what's next? There's an entire world out there. I appreciate your candor. Even if you couldn't be more wrong. We did, but I will never forget the time we spent together, though. So, no, I imagine not. What with your face and all. But you did save the city. That has to count for, something. If you'd rather waste your time with them, you're entirely welcome to. But not to worry. I'm sure our paths will cross again. Well, look who it is. Cazador's mansion, and I'm spinning my web. Oh, I wouldn't say ruler. Any old fool can sit on the throne. I would be more of a puppet master. For all my freedom to walk in the sun, it's still much more fun to pull the strings of power from the shadows. But the important thing, and who knows what's next? There's an entire world out there for the taking. They are welcome to try. I could use a new trophy for my wall. I did miss you, you know. You always had such unique ideas about the world. We did share a but I will never forget the time. Until next time. You see, this is why I always liked you. You can see the big picture. What needs to be done. I did miss you, you know. There is a sense of loneliness that comes with power. We did share a but I will never forget the time we spent together. That's what's next. You see, this is why I always liked you. You can see the big knows what's next. Perhaps the next time we meet, we'll have grander conquests to toast. I did miss you. We did, but I will until...
Thou feelst it still. She is not here. She who was the boldest. Hast thy thoughts been with brave Karlach often? She would not come. Truly, most of the time it was she who was strong for thee. Didst thou not employ her ever to carry all of thine loot? It is said that mortals require levity, that it is the antidote to any of the darkest hours. And who knew that better than she? In but 10 days, an entire life was lived. More than mortal years. Mortal centuries were hers. Thy band, thy bond, gave that life to her. Now thou speakest like me. In the fugue plain, her soul burns so bright, it pains the recall that in time all changeth and all is rejoined. Thou shalt be what indeed? Prick up thy ears and listen. The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready, for thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving. To you.
You slept like a babe straight through the night, dreamless, thoughtless, and almost entirely free. For the first time, you feel alone, calm. You breathe. Baal may have been your beginning, but he will not be your end. Of all those you killed in your father's name, one lingers in your mind even now. Alfira, the bard of the Emerald Grove. Her death weighs upon you still. A burden you will carry for the rest of your days. But fortunately, you will not have to carry it alone.
It feels so good. Freedom. True freedom. Finally, I can feel my strength growing. Every day that passes, I gain new abilities. And you've changed too, of course. A different aesthetic, but with such power. A shame. I was looking forward to having you as my consort. But we can still be powerful allies. Oh, darling, please. I can't have something like this as my lover. The mechanics alone. No. A simple alliance is far more useful to us both. I can build up my power here in the light, while you lurk below in the shadows. A shame. Exactly my thought. Together, we can rule this city. And the cattle won't even realize it's happening. And it's such a pity, because you were beautiful. You would have looked magnificent ruling by my side. But just because you're a monster, it doesn't mean we don't have a glorious future ahead of us. So come on, darling. Let's show this world what monsters can do!
6 months from the fall of the Netherbrain, you and Astarion were hosting a grand masquerade in the refurbished ballroom of Cazador's palace. A young elf wearing an ivory mask in the guise of a skinless skull handed you a note as he passed you in the crowd. An invitation written in a frail hand, inviting you to a gathering of the friends and allies who stood with you against the Absolute. Astarion pouted when you read the invitation to him. He'd gladly accompany you, but he would have been happy to host the party himself. As it is, you'll gather in a familiar place, and one altogether more suitable for your reunion.
And how have our dear friends been without us to guide and protect them? Really? Are you sure? I was certain they'd be half dead and begging us to take them back. Well, miracles never cease. Still, it is good to see them. And good for them to see us, side by side. flourishing. Of course, my darling. Look at us. We share a palace, share power, live lives eternal in each other's arms. What more could anyone want? God, not this again. I give you wealth, power, pleasure, every decadence that can be afforded to a person, but you'd rather what? Sleep in the dirt again? You are my consort, and I will see you living the very best life, even if you don't appreciate it. Why don't you go and mingle? Have fun with your so-called friends. I'll be here when you're done. You're not done already, surely. Being without a... Really? I'm amazed at doing as well as that. I was sure everyone would be half dead in the muck. Well, miracles never cease. Still, it is good to see them. And no, I can see more than enough from here. But you should go. Mingle, chat, laugh. Have fun, my love. And if our friends drop any interesting secrets, bring them right back to me. Until then, I'll be here. But don't fret. I will be watching. I am always watching. Our dear friends being without us to... Well, of course they do. They were never anything without us leading them. I'm amazed they've even survived this long, honestly. Still, it is good to see them. And I am blessed to share it with you, my love. I may have power, but it would be nothing without you. You complete me, and together we are unstoppable. So, heavens help the fool that tries to get in our way. No. Everything I want is standing right here. But you should go. And if our friends... Until then, I'll be here. God, yes, well, that's to be expected. They never were anything without us. I'm amazed they've even survived. Still, it is good to see them. And good for them. We do turn every head the moment we walk into a room. And rightly so. I may have power, and together, we are unstoppable. So, heaven... I almost wish they would. It's been some time since we've seen a real challenge. But you... And if... Until then...
All this stimulating conversation leaves you hungry. To speak is not. Astarion's sweet brain may be a bit less wrinkled than the rest, but you hunger for its teasing cells. His parietal lobe, which controls his sense of touch, will be an aphrodisiac in your maw. This is highly... And besides, the hypothalamus in this brain before you is secreting. The hormone of love is swelling somewhere in this skull.
As you're my consort, that makes us the most powerful people in... And neither would I. Together, the world is ours for the taking. So, what would you like? Just when I thought I couldn't love you anymore. We have a beautiful, bloody future to look forward to, my love. I can't be sure what it holds for us, but I know one thing. This is going to be fun! It is ours for the taking. Oh, darling, I love the way you think. We will need to be careful, of course. There are still powerful forces in the city. We can start slowly. quietly charming and manipulating key figures, building up our network of puppets. Before long, we'll have our hands on every string in the city, and they will dance however we tell them to. We have a beautiful, bloody future to look for. This is going to be ours for the take. Then you shall. We'll travel the lands together, tasting everything Faerun has to offer. Perhaps we'll find somewhere we'd like to stay for a century or two. Perhaps not. We have a beautiful sword. That, my love, you always know the right thing to say. The world is ours for the taking. So, what would you like? Don't be stupid, darling. You're mine. Remember? The tadpole is gone, which means your future is mine to decide. How lucky you are that I chose you as my consort. Chose you to help me take Baldur's Gate, then sit by my side as I rule it. There's no backing out now. We'll be together forever. I can promise you that.
6 months from the fall of the Netherbrain, you and Astarion...
I'm flattered by the attention, darling, but don't you want to check in with some of our erstwhile companions? I'm sure they've missed you.
Indulge tonight.
How have our dear friends been without us to guide? And really? Well, still, it is good to see them. Of course, we share a palace, share power, live lives eternal in each other's already done. But you should, and if our friends, until then, we have an eternity for chit-chat, my love. The others only get you for tonight. I can't keep you all to myself.
So, how'd I do? Bye, son. You can't.
It's over. You, who would, thanks to you, that you have earned your... You are the...
God. Imps. Better let these fuckers know I'm back. And this time, I'm not alone.
When the invitation came, you were hip-deep in Lemure slime, swarmed by hell wasps, and about to drive the... Cutting through the dreadful buzz of the wasps and the screams of the damned, a familiar, comforting voice echoed in your mind. Withers, you requested your attendance in Faerun, a reprieve from the Blood War. Karlach's heart can take the strain of leaving Avernus for a few short hours, but it might burst with joy.
Oh, Commander Zula won't know where the... Oh, man, I got... Rest up, soldier. My tin can will be all right for the night. And you and me will get to sleep with both eyes shut for the first... Here, here. Enjoy it, soldier. Every time. She's got a knight in her, I think. Any trouble and I'll toddle... Oh, hey. But Zariel's probably got a load of Cambions guarding that forge. I might have an in with one...
Well, look who it is. So, how are you enjoying the Hells, my dear? I assume they're darling as ever. Oh, bless you. But no. I am living a life better than most can dream of. I'm not trading these silks for, scorched rags. Cazador's man, and of course, I'm spinning my web. Power grows slowly, but I have nothing but tiles, my... Yes, If anyone can laugh in the face of damnation, she certainly can. You are lucky to have her. How are you? Don't spoil the mood. We'd have a good time after all, reminiscing with old friends. It has been a joy. I've been rediscovering what it means to be alive. Cazador's mansion, and of course, I'm spinning my web. Rather wonderfully, actually. They're the kind of friends that would... But the important thing... And who knows what's next? There's an entire world out there. Ready. You see, this is why I did miss you, you know. We did share a wonderful adventure, but we have great news. I will never forget the time we spent together. Until next time.